Hi everyone, so we are here at Stave Lake today. We're at the Kearsley Creek Recreation Site campground and we're here for a couple of days. So in this video we're going to show you a little bit of our camping here at Stave Lake and also talk a little bit about the BC wildfire situation right now.
So we came in yesterday and it was a Sunday and it was actually fairly busy, though there were a few vacant sites, but a lot of people at the lake because it's a beautiful sunny day. Today is a Monday morning and it's amazingly different. There's far fewer people, with the exception of some just going by right now on the road, some kids on bikes. But the beaches were empty this morning when we went out for a walk, and quite a difference on a Monday, and there's many more campsites that are available. What's also interesting about this particular campsite is that it's a BC recreation site, but you can also make reservations online, which is really unusual for a BC rec site.
Yeah, and then the other thing that's unusual about this campground is that they actually have an on-site camp host. You have to stop and check in with them when you arrive, and they're quite strict actually. Yeah,
which works for us because we're always very cautious when we're out camping. We don't leave our stove out when we're not using it. We bring in our tablecloth. Anything that may have the smell of food, we always put back in the van. And realistically, that's what you should be doing to avoid any kind of bear issues. We'd rather be in a place where the camp hosts ensure everyone follows the rules around quiet time and around, keeping your sites clean. That just works well for us.
Yeah, and it's typical in a recreation site. You have to pack it in and pack it out. So you gotta pack up your garbage and take it with you when you leave. There's no garbage receptacles here. They only have pit toilets, although there's quite a few of them. We were surprised.
And they're very clean, but there's no toilet paper. So again, as a BC rec site, pack it in, pack it out. Take your toilet paper if you need it, and take your garbage out with you.
Yeah.
When we came in, the road is fairly rough. It's about 9 kilometers, but the forestry road portion's not too bad. You can drive at a reasonable speed. It's not too many potholes. The road actually into the rec site itself is fairly rough. Lots of rocks and bumpy sections. We could do it in our van, but we had to do it very slowly. It's probably about as rough as road as I'd want to take our van in. I was commenting, there's maybe 2 vans here and everyone else is either in a truck camper or a trailer. There's no Class A motorhomes, and it's probably, I'm guessing, in part due to the conditions of the road. Though I think you could bring one in. Yeah. We also went out last night for a after dinner paddle, and that was nice. It was really warm. It was just nice to see, get out on the lake and paddle around a little island, maybe a kilometer away. Very pleasant.
Gordon had to work a little harder because it was a little bit rough, but
yeah, windy. Although we were fortunate, about halfway back the wind died, and so it was much easier to paddle back. Yeah. It was very pleasant.
As for the BC wildfire situation, it's particularly bad this year and particularly early as well. And I think that's because of that heat dome that we had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we had temperatures well above any kind of usual temperature for this time of year, and I think we had even in the lower mainland we had temperatures often at or close to 40 degrees, and that's just so unusual for us. And what it did effectively across the province is really dry everything out. We were talking the other day, we think we're probably, and this is just us guessing, but it's mid-July, but I think it's almost like mid-August in terms of fire conditions. So there are over, I think, 300 forest fires currently burning in BC, most of which, not all, but most of which are sort of in the interior of the province, so running from the southern sort of Okanagan region up through the Caribou, Chilcotin, up to northeastern BC. So we've got fires and we've got a lot of smoke, and even in some of the photos you'll see from us or some of the video today, you'll see the fact that the mountains are hazy, and that's really just wildfire smoke that's been carried off to where we're camped here at Stave Lake.
Mm-hmm. So it is impacting a little bit on, I think, a lot of people's travel plans. I mean, as soon as we were free to travel, and then all of a sudden we get the wildfires, and the weather's beautiful, but again, we haven't had rain for a long time. I don't think there's any rain in the forecast unless it's just short bursts of thunderstorms in the Okanagan, and of course that's bad because the lightning can cause fires as well. So,
and of course for us it's probably more just a concern about smoke and some of the areas, and for people that live live in those areas, it's much worse, because it's not just smoke and air quality issues, but obviously they're worried about potential for loss of life or properties due to the forest fires. So we're hoping all that goes well. And we actually did have an unfortunate incident, an area that we like to visit, which is the Lytton area, and we've done a couple of videos from parks that we've liked there. The village of Lytton, unfortunately, did have a fire, and it was fairly significant, and literally the village had to evacuate in minutes, and I think roughly 90% of the village has been destroyed by the fire, and there was lives lost as well. So a very, very sad event to see, and certainly our hearts and thoughts go out to all the people that live in that area that have had to deal with loss of property and potentially loss of some of their family members.
Yeah.
So we'll share with you some of our paddle from last night, some of the campsites in this, I can't even remember the name of the place we're at.
Kearsley Creek.
Kearsley Creek. I know we're on Stave Lake.
Yeah. Where old coffee tables come to spend the last of their days. Very nice paddle. Especially when you don't have to paddle.
And hopefully I'll get out for another paddle, either tomorrow morning or maybe again this evening. But it's a beautiful spot. It was funny, when we woke up this morning, which was about 5 o'clock, the reason we woke up then was because the sound of the birds was just so loud and so intense, and even an hour later they were still chirping, and you probably heard some in the background, but just that half hour before the sun rises, the birds just seem so happy. They're just like greeting the day. And by the time 6 o'clock rolled around, there were still bird noises, and it was very pleasant, but not nearly as loud as it was when we were still trying to sleep at 5.
Yeah.
Beautiful morning, very slight breeze, some ducks out, sun over the mountains, gorgeous. Water's very nice, so I note a couple of beer cans, squished beer cans. If everyone can just do their part, help keep the lakes a little bit cleaner. Right, Henry?
This is a double site. No one at the day use today.
Yeah, absolutely empty.
We were just curious as to whether the kayak rental's open.
It is a Monday, but still.
Or maybe not open yet.
Thought this might be a little river, more like a little inlet. Might be a tiny creek at the end, but it doesn't go in very far. Still pretty. That's a little island that we paddled around last night.
The day-use beach is a lot quieter today than it was yesterday. Beautiful.
Sign says, "Do not stand here."
What does it really say?
I'm guessing sometimes there's no water here and there's a trail right across. I guess this is dammed, so sometimes the lake might be low enough you could technically drive across. Some of the campsites around here are ATV friendly. That's what the signage says. Ours is specific to not having any all-terrain vehicles. So quiet today compared to yesterday. It's amazing. Mondays versus Sundays.
For dinner tonight we have Beyond sausage, and that's vegan, some steamed broccoli, and I steam that on top of the baby potatoes. And we're having some Whistler Brewing honey lager and some Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand that we opened yesterday. So bon appetit!
Another 3-hour cruise. Straight across the lake to those cliffs we can see just ahead of us.
another ladder there. I feel like we're in the
Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, in the Amazon.
I think this is Grizzly Bear Creek.
We can't go much further.
There's the haunted stump.
Yeah, this is really cool actually. Feels like you feel like Robinson Crusoe.
I like the Jungle Cruise better.
Yeah.
Because if it gets any windier when we go back, it'll be like being in Gilligan's Island. Or we'll be stranded here for a day. But we do get cell phone reception here, as opposed to the campsite.
Yeah, so not quite stranded.
Not very much, but enough.
Yeah. Like a bar.
Yeah, I think people use this as a little party place.
Oh, nice.
They even have a barbecue thing over here. So we've got to paddle just a little farther than we can see from here. So we're currently at the Cruiser Beach Yacht Club, and we've got, I don't know, maybe a kilometer and a half that way. Bit windy, but fun.
Woo, he's up. I don't think this sign is usually in the water.
I think the lake's much higher, that's why.
Yes.
So it's nice to see the geese out so early in the morning. But I hadn't expected that they'd bring all the beach toys. We had a great time at Stave Lake at the campsite whose name I can never remember.
Kearsley Creek.
Yeah, it was great, and particularly our spot. We really liked our spot. We were in spot 26, and it's just close enough. You get a little glimpse of the water, but far enough away from if the beach does get busy, you don't see a lot of people, and very quiet, lots of birds. Really enjoyed it. We had a great time. The road, driving out, the road seemed a lot better than we came in. Once you know the road, it was perfectly fine in our van. You just had to drive slowly in some parts. And the other thing that we wanted to just share too is we needed to dump our tanks, and so we just popped over to Kearsley Lake Provincial Park, which is maybe 15 minutes away.
Yeah, it's probably about 14 kilometers.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And then we dumped our tanks there, and then we're able to come home. We're actually back in our storage lot right now, waiting for our next trip.
So thanks so much for watching our video, and if you enjoyed it, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, please, if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.